So first of all, thank you all so much for being here. Wow, what a pleasure it is to kind of do my first presentation. It's actually my first ever webinar, so please go easy on me with your comments, okay? Everyone's saying it looks awesome, cool, excellent. Thank you so much. So yeah, it's my first webinar, and it was actually quite an interesting one because I started Mustard Fitness about 4 years ago, just over 4 years ago, and doing this webinar is the first time that I've actually had to lay down all of the things that I've done along the way to kind of make it what it is today. And yeah, wow, it was quite interesting to go over that. You know, it's one of those things where if somebody asked you to write down how you learn to walk or how you learn to speak, it's a complicated process, and it's quite hard to kind of go back to the beginning and kind of work your way through those steps. So I did exactly that. I wrote down everything right here, and I'm going to go through it with you guys today, and I really hope that you find it interesting, and I truly hope that you can learn something from it. For me, working online is one of the best steps I've ever taken, and I hope that it can inspire some of you to make similar steps in the future. And if it doesn't, then I will try and make it as entertaining for you all as possible, okay? So just a little bit about me, who I am and what I do. So first of all, I need some confirmation here. Can you all see my screen? Okay, I need you guys to give me some confirmations here. So if you can see my screen, just give me an emoji or a kissy face or an inappropriate emoji, anything you want, just to let me know you can see my screen. That would be awesome. Because again, I don't know if I'm just talking to a laptop and you've all disappeared and gone down the pub. Okay, oi, there we go. Yes, okay, screen is being seen. Okay, brilliant. So we're gonna go straight into the intro and we'll start from there. My name's Stacey Quick. I set up the company Mustard Fitness. If you didn't know this before, it's a online fitness coaching company for which I train almost 50 clients now around the world. And obviously it didn't start with 50 clients. Yeah, it was a slow process, but I got there in the end. I can see some very interesting comments coming up. From Mustard Fitness, I then went on to work with an amazing company called Workout Labs, which you can see here, which is a online personal training platform for trainers and people who want to get fit. So there's two sides to this website. It works excellent for personal trainers who want to manage their clients and build interesting workout plans. And it works for those who also want to get fit on the fit side of it, actually, that's named. A couple of things I'm doing at the moment as well. I'm just going to move some things over here. Last week, actually, I set up Kai Retreats, which is a fitness retreat that myself and two partners are going to be hosting in Formentera, which is the sister island of Ibiza. So I set this up last week with those guys, and we've launched and we're ready to go in October, which is going to be great. Moving over to the right here, you can see Best Secret. So yeah, I do work for a fashion company as well. Just look at this shirt, look at this hair. I'm all about the fashion, okay? You're probably not thinking that at all, but I do work for a fashion company as a copywriter. I do their editing and writing in English. Now I've got another couple of new little projects over here. So we've got thebeach.com. I am very excited to potentially be moving forward with this company here. I will be their online fitness coach, which they are launching out in Cayman Islands. So I'll be expanding my reach just a little bit further. And I've just been accepted to write articles for this orthopedic surgery based in the USA. And aside from this, I also do a wee bit of, oh yeah, that's right, swimsuit modeling. I'm just going to open this up here so you can see, oh yeah, look at me on a surfboard, okay? So not only can I work on a computer, I can also stand on imaginary surfboards on my table and look super cool. Right, moving on. Before I went into online fitness coaching and before I took my business online, I've worked in a few different professions. I was a waiter, a restaurant manager, a bartender, a lifeguard. I made hostel beds for a living and cleaned toilets. I'm just looking at my notes here. I was even, wait for it, a topless waiter in Wellington, New Zealand. That is a very scrawny me at the tender age of 22, performing topless waitering. So if anybody would like this image sent to them directly, that is not a problem. I charge $5 per send. So give me a thumbs up and I'll send that over. Okay, moving on very swiftly. I got to the age of 27 working all these different odd jobs, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I began to analyze the things that I just loved to do throughout my life that didn't bring me financial gain. And this is an exercise that you can also try yourself. Take a look at the areas in which you feel as if you've consistently done throughout your life without financial gain. And you can potentially turn that into a passion that you could live from and make money from. So we're going to get into this first section, which is an idea. But before we get there, I have a couple of things that I would just like to say, guys. I'm getting a lot of questions over here in the comments section, and that is amazing. And I will try my best to answer as many as I can. However, if you do have more questions that you would like me to answer in deeper detail, head over to this main page. You should all have the invite to access this this folder here on Bubble Up, and you'll see here there's a little note that says hit me with your questions. Just comment below like other people have done here, and I will do my best to answer those within a week in thorough detail. And at the end of this call, don't worry, I'm going to go through the questions here too, and also answer any questions that you might have about this this area. So the objectives of this webinar. Well, okay, so all info in this webinar is going to be typed up in a blog. So I don't expect you to sit there with a notepad and pen and make down as many notes as you possibly can. Don't worry, I'm going to be putting this all into a blog, 500 to 1,000 words, and I'm going to get that all to you within this week. So don't worry too much about making too many notes. This is more just for you to get inspired, to get some ideas, and to potentially do something with those ideas in the future. The 4 elements that I want to tackle, I've actually named them here as an idea. So the seeds, water those saplings, stronger than oak. They might not make much sense at the moment, but they will do in a matter of minutes as I sort of go through them with each of you. So yeah, let's get started. We're going to go straight into an idea. As I said, if you have questions, please let me know in the questions tab, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm getting compliments on my hair. That is great. And I'm getting eggplant emojis, even better. Okay, so we're going to open this folder here. And again, if you can access this folder, great. If you can't locate it in your inbox, you'll be able to access it pretty quickly. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we live in the time of opportunity. It's the 21st century. Selling an idea or selling a product has never been easier than the present time. If you would like to go back just 20 years and compare the opportunities that were had online compared to now, you'll find that there were massive differences and massive growth in the realm of tech and online marketing. Social media didn't exist, and within 20 years, it's now reached by 2 billion people on the planet, which is almost a third of the planet. Amazon.com had only just begun in 2020. They just developed that little arrow, and now they are one of 5 trillion-dollar companies in the world. 4, might I add, are tech companies. Okay, I think the other one is China Petrol. So that's something to really recognize, that tech is really taking over the planet at the moment. The best chance of selling a product in the year 2000 was probably to take out an ad in a newspaper or to post something in your local supermarket. But now you can literally access billions of people with whatever you decide to do with your online market. As a personal trainer myself, in the year 2000, my limit would have probably been my local city. But now I literally have clients all over the planet. I have clients in Sydney, I have clients in Manila, London, I have clients in the USA. I even had a client in Nantucket, which was really showed me the possibilities. And again, I'm not boasting here, I'm just trying to let you know that the possibilities of the online world are massive. So asking yourself that question, where can I go from here? What can I do? Again, highlight your passion, and if you need just a little bit of inspiration, head over to this video that I've posted right here. The question, what do I desire? I watched this about 5 years ago, and it just inspired me because it put the idea in my head. It's what would I do if money wasn't an object? And although money is great, that's amazing, really think about your passion and aim to pursue that passion, because that's exactly where you need to go. And a lot of people think, well, what if my passion doesn't necessarily apply to the online world? Well, I mean, okay, here's a prime example, and it's fishing. A lot of people would think, yeah, fishing, online world are completely different markets. However, a fella named John Atby might have asked the same question 5 years ago before launching his app Fishbrain, which is a social network for those who would like to identify and find the best fishing hotspots around the planet. And it has a user base of 5 million people now, and a regular income of millions per year, all from an idea. Another idea is Jan Hakon Eriksen. Okay, he's a visual artist based, I believe, in Norway, and great, funny guy. May seem a little bit stupid. I'm going to show you just an example here of what I'm talking about. Can anyone guess what this guy does for a living? If you'd like to put your comments, if you know of this guy, just let me know. And if you don't, you will do very soon. Okay, I'm going to head over to this short video. Brilliant. Amazing. Wow. I mean, and we'll stop there. So as you can see, the limits of the online world are endless. Jan Hakon Eriksen may seem a little bit silly, a little bit peculiar, but he obviously had a passion for annihilating weak inanimate objects. And he now has 750,000 followers on Instagram and has a net worth of $350,000. So it does go to show that these possibilities are completely endless. Think of your passion, it can work. Uncover an idea, and if you're having trouble identifying your passion, just simply follow an exercise that I've set up for you guys to take control of right here, after, of course, watching this video for inspiration. So you've got an idea. Does anyone have any ideas right now? Actually, that would be quite interesting to see. If you have any ideas, I'll do my best to answer them right now. Throw them in the comments box. They can be as crazy as you like. You have my permission. I'll tap dance right now and wait for those comments to come in. Pops balloons. Hold on, I got to open this up so I can see. Let's see what we got here. Pops balloons in the sexiest ways. Yeah. Okay. Extreme child entertainment. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Any other passions that you guys have that you want me to sort of explore some ideas on? And don't be pressured to put them down in the comments just yet. You know, you can think of someone again, put them in the comments right here, and I'll get to them at a later point. Okay. So I'm gonna move on. Baby food. Yes, Jody Quick. Perfect. Perfect example. Baby food. This is something that you would just think, okay, how can I make baby food a thing? How can I make it appeal? Everybody has babies. That is why the world continues to populate. Everybody has babies, and now with the health revolution, more and more people want to feed their babies the right things. They want to feed them healthy food. They don't want to feed them junk. There's an obesity epidemic. This is an excellent example. Baby food is a huge demand, and if you can whip up some amazing skills in the kitchen and create some very interesting baby food ideas, there's a market for that. There's a huge market for that. If you look at how many mothers are out there, vegan baked goods. I defo think right now in the world needs neutral diversity and inclusion expert. Absolutely, I couldn't agree with that more. Paul Frame, thank you so much for your comments. I'm going to elaborate more on these, but baby food is an excellent example. I'm going to go into sowing your seeds. Now imagine you have this idea. Let me just take a sip of coffee. You have an idea, and you're now thinking about potentially running with this idea and creating a life that can not only bring you more happiness, but can also bring you financial gains. I mean, come on, we have to be honest. Finances are a huge part of this, and everybody wants to earn a living and improve their quality of life. So once you have that idea, you're going to get criticism. And I'm only saying this because I've gone through it myself in 2016, when I said, you know what, I'm just going to kind of go this way, and I'm going to start working online. A lot of people gave me criticism because, you know, it's new. and a lot of people don't really know the potential of the online world as well. So expect that criticism, and what you can do with that criticism is you can do one of two things. You can take it in a constructive way and use that to build a better business or a better company, or you can simply discard it or use that negative criticism as motivation to succeed. But there's no other way about it. Don't let criticism bring you down, because just again, speaking from experience, a lot of criticism in my past. How the hell can you make money online? It's crazy. Well, guess what? You can, and I am. So don't let criticism bring you down. We're going to go a little bit into identifying your niche. Now, I'm curious if any of you know a fitness niche. Now, I work in the fitness market, as you may know. What niche could I sort of use as my avenue? Instead of just saying, hey, I train people from around the world, what do you think is a route that I could take potentially that is a niche, that is something that people are not working on right now? So use the comment box and let me know if you have any ideas for that. And then once you've kind of given me some ideas, I'm going to show you the niche that I thought of last night when I couldn't sleep. I was up very late, tossing and turning, not being able to sleep. So think of a niche. One could be, you know, post-pregnancy. That's a great niche. Again, you can link that with the baby food as well. Another one could be, you know, training 50s and over who want to improve their golf game. If you can think of any niches right now, I'd love to see your ideas, and I will elaborate on them a little bit more. And in the meantime, I'm going to sip more coffee. This is not my usual sexy voice, by the way. I sound a lot deeper at the moment. It's kind of a Russell Crowe kind of voice, but I'm usually quite high pitched. I think I've just been speaking for 15 minutes straight without stopping, so I'm going to take some more coffee. There you go. Exercises for those who are injured, absolutely, or less mobile. That is a niche that people just aren't tackling because they feel as if it's kind of scary. They don't want to injure people more, or they don't necessarily want to take on that next level of responsibility. People who want to get fit at 50, again, it's an amazing niche. Now, yeah, and I believe that 50-year-olds now are, you know, 30-year-olds from 20 years ago. You know, we are living longer and we are becoming fitter and healthier. And I'm seeing inspiration left, right, and center from those who are 50 plus. Now, last night I was laying there thinking of a niche, and I kind of came up with this. So I'm going to identify a niche in the fitness market, just to give you an example of how easy it is to find something that people don't necessarily think about. So we've got balloon bursting, fishing, or fitness. Well, obviously I'm not going to go for these two because they're not my field. So I'm going to go down fitness. So already I've taken my idea, and you can do this too. So now we've got flash fitness plans, we've got nutrition, and we've got the more sustainable long-term training, which is what I work in specifically. I work with people who want to change permanently. But let's go down this avenue with flash fitness plans, those who want to get fit within a couple of weeks. And then of course we've got male or female. Okay, so you know what, I'm gonna go for female and see what we can find in this niche. Now it's best to sort of look at the age range that you're going for as well. Do you want to train the younger generation, or do you want to train the older generation? This might be more relative to you. You might find this more comfortable. For this exercise, we are going to go down the avenue of between 26 and 40. So we're going to open this folder here, and then we're going to, okay, let's narrow this down even further. Are we training people for events, or are we training people for races or competitions? Let's go with events. Okay, and now finally we're on birthdays, holidays, and weddings. We're going to go for weddings, and now we've got a niche, a very, very, very particular niche, although it's something where thousands and thousands and thousands of people what they're going to use. A 12-week wedding day fitness preparation plan, okay, specifically for brides, because it's for women. So this is the niche. This is what we've identified. Now, thousands of women get married every single day in the USA. It's about 7,000, something ridiculous. It's a very high number. And this is something that you can absolutely exploit. And it's something that you can use and find a passion in. So once you've identified your niche, and this is something I actually failed to do with Mustard Fitness, I didn't find my niche. I just kind of took a more wide open approach and said, I'll train anybody. I want to expand in that way. But we've now identified our niche. So we have an idea and we have our niche. So where would we go from here? I believe I'm going into the wrong folder. Trusty bubble up, go back over to sowing your seeds. So once we've found our niche, you can actually then start moving on to the more exciting things, which would be branding. So we're going to go into branding now, and here you can see I've got my BB, and I'll let you know what that is in just a second. But this is my niche. My niche is 12-week fitness plans for women who are getting married, who want to look super awesome and fit in their wedding dress. Okay. Coming up with a name is really somewhere it requires a lot of thought. In fact, can anybody tell me where Mustard Fitness came from? Anybody tell me where Mustard Fitness came from? This is my company. This is actually my logo. But any ideas why I chose Mustard Fitness? I'll give you about 30 seconds to answer this, but it's quite a unique story, that's for sure. And it's not because I've got a yellow face and yellow hair. It's actually for other reasons. But your favorite color is yellow. Keen as mustard. Both great answers, both incorrect. I am keen as mustard. My favorite color is now yellow, but it wasn't before I set up the company. In fact, originally I started with a company name called, oh, we've got some more answers. Spicy like mustard, your hair, mustard tastes the best. Norwich, Coleman's mustard, these are all excellent answers. Coleman's mustard is actually from Norwich, where I'm from as well. And that is a very, very good answer, but it's still not correct. Mustard Fitness was, I had everything. I had my idea. I had what I wanted to do. I didn't have my niche, but I knew exactly what I wanted to do. But I couldn't yet expand on that. I couldn't create a website. I couldn't start telling my friends about it because you can't say, hey, I've got an idea for a company. What's the name? I have no idea. So I was really dwelling on this, and I went through a few different names: Resolution Fitness, 4% Fitness, and I found that they were all either in use or they were snowed under by common expressions or gyms online. So I needed something unique, and it was at that moment where I almost gave up. I sat down and I ordered a club sandwich, and out came the sandwich, and she said, would you like some mustard with your club sandwich? And I said, yes, I would. Mustard Fitness, what a great story. I can imagine you're going to be telling your grandkids this story at a later date, but if you like, you can actually save this video and just play that for them in the future. Mustard Fitness is my name, and it's unique. That is what I went for. You've got to go for something that's unique. Not many people forget the name, which is why I chose it. Mustard represents spice. It has that tie being from Norwich, where I'm from. So there's a few different reasons why I chose it, but the main reason is I'd given up and a club sandwich came out at the right time. So I've gone into BB, and I want to tell you what BB is. Now, we've got the 12-week fitness plan for brides who want to get fit. And last night, I was just kind of thinking of these three images as a bit of branding. I wanted the Rivetta image from World War II, and I also wanted a bride image. So I was thinking maybe we can combine these three images somehow, and it just came to my head, bicep brides. So I used it and I ran with it. Okay, I'm not going to set this up, but I like the name, Bicep Brides. It says exactly what it's for. It's for brides who want to get bigger biceps. So what I went and did, if I just go back a little bit here, is I went to a great place called GoDaddy.com, and I'm sure you may have heard of GoDaddy.com. GoDaddy.com is a domain search engine where you can purchase domains. And I went over to GoDaddy.com and I looked for bicepbrides.com, and guess what? It was available for 99 cents. So I am now the owner of bicepbrides.com. As you can see here, I've got the confirmation just there. Yes. So if anybody wants to steal my idea, they can come to me and purchase that from me directly. So bicepbrides.com is just the idea I went with last night. I'm just trying to show you how easy it is to create a brand. Identify your niche and then create your brand, which was using these images here. If you are having trouble creating a brand, you can use branding exercises like this one below here. If your brand was a person, choose 3 to 5 words that would describe him or her. This is actually a really good exercise that you can do. Obviously, some of them would not apply to what I'm doing, but out of curiosity, what would you say out of all these words here works for bicep bride? What image are we trying to put across? Are we putting across young, witty, peaceful, confident? What would you guys put across? And did you have to trademark your name? Well, I did. Yeah, trademarking is another story. I will actually go through the process of trademarking my name. It wasn't a small process. So Yasmin, thank you so much for your comment on that. I'll give you a full rundown on exactly how I did that. So any of you want to just let me know what you feel would describe or sum up bicep bride in these words below. Please don't use blunt or weird. They're not exactly the ones I'm going for here. But it's just a small exercise for you to come up with some ideas on how you can really brand your company, your new company, your passion. Okay, moving on very quickly. If you are having trouble with finding your logo or finding your brand, there's some amazing websites out there that can help you with this. I'm not saying you have to use them completely, but you can get some really great ideas from them. So here I've got taylorbrands.com. I used a similar website that doesn't exist anymore for Mustard Fitness, just to get some ideas. It didn't work out, but it's great to see some different options. So let's actually, I'm curious to see what comes up if we type in bicep bride. I'm on a Mac, by the way, and I'm not used to typing on a Mac. Brag. Okay, do not think and type. Bicep bride. Let's try it. So what's going to happen is it's going to pop up with some, okay, hey, what are you working on? Let's say I provide services and I'm only online, okay? Your industry is, let's go for fitness and caps lock. I'm sure that doesn't matter. Let's not do fitness apparel. Let's just do fitness and see what happens here. Why do you keep doing that? Ha! Okay. Are we going to go icon-based, icon-based, name-based, or initial? But let's go for name-based, because I think I already have the logo. And then it starts to ask you here what example suits you better. Okay, so we're going to go for this one. We're going to go random here. Oh, we're going to go with elegant over there. We're going to also include it, make it a little bit bold as well. Keep it elegant. I'm going to choose this one here, and let's go with this one just to make it bold. Let's see what comes up once we've done that. And what happens, it actually designs your logo for you from all the examples that you've put in and used. I'm going to actually have to speed up a little bit. I realized I'm talking on and rambling a little bit. So, we do not want to use that. Well, as you can see on the left here, it gives you some ideas. This is dreadful. All right, we're just going to continue as Dominique. Let's see what happens if I do that. I accept these terms and conditions. Sorry, Dominique. Okay, brilliant. So we have some examples down the left here. So what I was going to do is, take something from these three here and create a logo, and then potentially use the text from these examples here. And before you know it, you've got your name, you've got your logo, you've got your branding. Throw some colors in there and you've got your branding. I did this in a day, and Dominic actually really helped me out with this logo here, which I've kept from day one. I feel as if it just kind of represents me with the color and the male and female, bottles over there on the left. I love this logo, and I will keep that logo for the time being for sure. So we're going to head back now, guys, now that we've got a little bit of sowing your seeds and branding. I believe there was just one more thing. Yes. The website, ladies and gentlemen. The website's important. It kind of creates validation for your potential customers in the future. You don't want, it's like having a shop without actually having a storefront. You want to have a website. It really shows people that you not only know what you're talking about, but you're established. And I think it's extremely important to use a website. But not only that, but it's a portal for people to get to you. And I'm talking from word of mouth, social media. If someone hears Mustard Fitness and they Google it, or they Google Bicep Bride, how can they contact you? Well, by having a website, that's the portal to your inbox. And without my website, I would be nowhere, in all honesty. I've got my Instagram and it's doing quite well. But it's really about having a website, having that portal and getting people to go to your website. Now, starting out, you look at web designers and you think, no way, I cannot believe the prices I have to pay to create a website. It's unbelievable. In fact, would anybody here like to guess, in the year 2020, the average cost to build a website? Let's get some guesses. The average cost in 2020 to build a website. Okay, and this is why I think a lot of people are terrified, because it's not as cheap as one might think. So 1,000, it's a good answer. 1,000 is it's still a lot of money. If you're thinking for someone who's starting out and they haven't yet got paying clients and they haven't yet got footing, £1,000 or euros or dollars is a lot of money. So you can see why people are put off by this. Has anybody else got any more guesses, or are we going to stick with £1,000, which again is, for some people, it's a month's salary, which is a big commitment, especially if you have kids. We've got 1,000 to 3,000. Now, you're absolutely correct. For a simple website in 2020, it can range from 500 to 1,000 pounds or euros. For a more complex website, you can get up to 30,000 pounds just to create a website. That's insane. And it might be at this point where you've got your logo, you've got your color scheme, you've got your name, you've got your domain for 99 cents, and you're on a roll and you think, yes, this is going to be the best website ever created, and you look at it and all of a sudden you have to fork out 4,000 or 5,000 just for the website. To be honest, had it been this expensive, Mustard Fitness would have never gone off the ground, because at the time of setting up Mustard Fitness, I had 700 euros in my bank account. I had nothing. Thankfully, there are amazing resources out there, and I used a website, and I know there may be bigger and badder and better websites out there, website creators out there, but Weebly.com got me through that initial rainy day. Now, for $5 to $35 a month, you can actually create a website, and it's extremely simple. They make it as simple as drag and drop, and I couldn't recommend this more. I've linked my business to it, so I can accept payments through Weebly. And look, I haven't got the best website in the world. It's not in your frequent searches. It's not the best website in the world, guys, but it does the job. It gets people to leave their email addresses, and reasonably appealing. Okay, I've got my workout plans, my YouTube workouts, transformations, my cheeky taglines. I sell my plans, and I also have one-to-one online coaching. So guys, building a website isn't that expensive. I paid $5 a month to get started. I bought my domain again for about $2, so I paid $7 to get this off the ground. What it will require is a little bit of time and figuring this out, but in all honesty, I could have another website like this set up in under a week. So as long as you're ready to put the time in, website building is not really that complicated. Okay, so I want to really stress that. So now we've sown the seeds. You've got your branding, you've got your logo, you've got your name, you've got your domain, and you've got your website. You are fired up. You've got your ideas. You've been building this up for a couple of weeks now. You need to set a launch date, okay? And it's very important that you stick with that launch date. Now, my launch date was February 1st, 2016. And what that did for me is it really just put a deadline on things. I told myself I have to stick with this date. If I go beyond this date, I feel like I'm going to fail. Of course, you can go beyond that date. It's not a big deal. But setting your launch date is going to have you working on a deadline and getting your act together when it comes to building these things, actually making sure you stay up late at night to get those things done. So we're going to move on to the next thing, and you'll see at the bottom here, I've got some ideas for you about watering those saplings. And what I mean about watering those saplings is once you've launched, once you've unleashed your website to the public and you've clicked live, that's where the real work starts. You've done the initial legwork to get everything off the ground, but this is where it really is make or break. And I promise you there's going to be successes and failures and ups and downs and times in which you just feel as if it's all going to fall down the drain. But this is where the work is, and this is where you have to put your time and effort, not money, but time and effort. And just from going through this myself, I cannot stress this enough. And I'm not talking about Sylvester Stallone hanging upside down on a cord. I'm talking about reach. And I think you all underestimate your reach. Now, again, with social media, you have instant access to 2 billion people on the planet. Okay, instant access. These people you can communicate at the speed of light. Use your reach. Once you've launched your website, I cannot stress the importance of just calling your family, messaging your friends, and just saying, hey guys, do me a favor and share my work, share my website, share my Instagram, share what I'm doing. This is a great place to start. Now, I have a question for everybody out there, actually. How many friends or contacts does the average Facebook user have? If anybody can get this dead on, I'm going to be very, very surprised. No using Google, by the way. You cannot use Google. That's cheating. Okay? I'm curious to see what numbers are going to fill in. 450. That's close, Harris. Very close, my man. That's this guy. Just stick around that area. 450. Okay. The average amount of friends that the average Facebook user has. Okay. 450. Has anyone else? 500, 700. Okay. It's not as high as you think. Okay, you've got to take into account all those people who, you know, they live in smaller places, smaller towns. The average Facebook user has 338 friends. Okay, so Harris was actually the closest. Well done, Harris. But if you really think about that and you asked 5 of your average Facebook users around the world to share your website, your name, that's a reach of 1,700. Which is actually quite a big reach just from asking 5 people to share. That's 5 people. What about if you share it with 100 people, 200 people? You can just begin to see and harness the power of reach. Reach is extremely important, okay? And which brings me to my next point. The power of 1,000 true fans is an article I actually read when I first started. I wanted to understand how many people I needed to contact and to follow me and to reach out to before I could consider myself a success in the online world and quit my day job and begin working completely online. And this article here and this video, I've actually put a summarized video for you guys to watch, will give you a full representation of the power of just having 1,000 true fans. Now, let me very briefly explain that 1,000 true fans aren't just followers on Instagram, and they're not just friends. 1,000 true fans are fans of yours who will buy anything you put out there, anything that you decide to launch. They will buy it, okay, because they are true fans. They support you in that level. You've probably got to be in contact with the majority of them. But the power of 1,000 true fans is this. If in 1 year you released 5 products and each product cost $20 each, and your true fans bought those 5 products, spending a total of $100 per fan, that will have you on $1,000 per year. Oh, sorry, $100,000 per year, which is a hell of a salary. It's an amazing salary from not that many people. We can even go to something like a monthly subscription, which would be $20 a month. If your 1,000 true fans paid for your monthly subscription of $20 per month, you would take in, let me do my maths, $240,000 per year, which is an astounding amount of money just from your true fans. As long as your product is legitimate, as long as your product is strong and your fans believed in you, you can make one hell of a living online. You can be extremely successful online. And again, I'm going back to the power that every single one of you in this webinar has to launch something huge online. I'm going to go into this folder here, and I want to just very quickly discuss my early steps into growing initially, because I started out with 0 fans, 0 followers on Instagram, 0 clients. And I said, okay, I've launched everything. Everything's been done now. My website's out. I got my family and my friends to share. But what I did is I started to train some very, very, very sexy people over here for free. Jacob, my cousin, is one of my best friends in the world. I trained him for free over the course of 19 weeks. He didn't have to pay me anything. All I required of him was to share the progress. I wanted to make a video, which you can watch here. This is a 19-week transformational journey. 20 weeks almost of fitness training and nutrition. I wanted to show the world what I could do. I wanted to show him what I could do, and I wanted him to show his friends what I could do. And we've got some other examples over here. This is Harris the hero, as he's well known in Norwich. He's actually the winner of the guessing the amount of average friends on Facebook. And then there's Tess, a very good friend from New Zealand. So these are the OGs. These are the people I trained for free. I didn't ask for a penny, but in return, I asked for them to follow it rigidly and to share my work. And as a result, this led to a little thing called, where am I going? Going here. A little thing called the Domino Effect. So I'm going to show you Shabib. Shabib, again, another client I met in Asia, in the Philippines, and I trained him completely for free. Right at the beginning, I wasn't making any money. Shabib was seen on Facebook by his friend Ricardo, who became one of my very earliest paying clients. Ricardo is a great guy, and I'm still working with him to this day. He's one of my closest clients. Ricardo then told his amazing partner, Ben, about my work, and as a result, Ben came on as a paying client. And these were based in Australia, and as a result, I like to call the domino effect. People tell people, as a result from Ben and Rick and Shabib, that domino effect led to me training over 20 clients in Australia in different points, okay, all from Shabib, who I initially started training for free. So again, the power of social media, the power of word of mouth, and the power of progress. When people see these results, they want to know exactly what they did to get these results. And Shabib pointed people my way, Rick pointed people my way, Ben pointed people my way, and as a result, boom, domino effect. Look at that. Oh yeah, that looks like a party I'd like to go to. Heading back. So moving very quickly on to social media. I've made a lot of mistakes from social media, and growing through social media is a bit of a nightmare. It's extremely tricky. The algorithms of Instagram and Facebook, they change constantly. Actually, you can see here my very first post. You can actually check, I believe February 1st, 2016 is when I posted. And that is me making my statement. Here's what I can do. Mustard Fitness is alive and well and has been launched. Social media, again, aim for your first 100 followers when you're starting. Ask your family and friends to share, train people for free, offer your services for free, build up that growth, but make sure these people are sharing you. If they're using your services, check in on them, make sure they're sharing you. And you'll find that they will then tell their friends, and their friends will tell their friends. And before you know it, you'll have people contacting you, and you don't even know where they came from, but they found you. And that's all that really matters here. Your goal is 100 followers. Once you get 100 followers online, build up from there. My next goal is 500 followers. My next goal is 1,000 followers. And before you know it, when you hit 1,000 followers, you are a micro influencer. Okay, you have an online presence. You have a social media presence. It's taken me 4 years, and I'm now, I believe, at 20,000 and something followers. Okay, but I have to be honest, this took a long time. Oh, 20,199. Somebody please go and follow me right now. 21, there you go. That took a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of work, and I made some mistakes along the way. Some of these mistakes I made, well, I'll just very quickly go through some of the things I did and didn't do on social media. Shout out for shout out. Does anybody know what shout out for shout out is? Can anybody tell me what a shout out for shout out is? It's quite common. In fact, I could probably say that to someone on Instagram because I'm so hip and cool, and they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not that hip and cool. I'll actually be in my pajamas as soon as this webinar is over. That's how cool I am. Okay, I think somebody just followed me. I'll just double check this. Oh, look at this. See, guys, look, the power. Boom. Thank you very much. Somebody just made my day. Oh, okay, shout out for shout out. What is shout out for shout out? No answers? Okay, approach people online and don't be afraid to just say, hey, I will share your work as long as you share my work. It's a very, very quick way to access people that you wouldn't usually have access to. You can't go and follow all these friends or relatives, followers, and then message them all independently. But what you can do is you can message someone and say, hey, I really like your work, and I really hope you like my work too. Let me shout out some of your work. I'll advertise you a little bit on my website or my Instagram or on my Facebook or on my YouTube, and you can do the same. And that way we'll both grow together. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's an excellent way. How I initially got started, I always punched up, never punched down. So if you've got 150 followers, look for someone who has 220. If you've got 5,000 followers, look for someone who has 7,000. Okay, always punch up. They're going to benefit from you because you have 5,000 followers who potentially aren't following them, and you have then the reach of their potential 7,000 followers. That is a great move. That actually got me my initial 1,000 followers. Okay, guys, so that's huge. Don't be afraid to message fellow micro influencers, those who have between 1,000 and 100,000 followers. Message them and say, hey, can I train you for free? And in return, I would like you just to share my work on your page. And what you'll find is a lot of people will happily do that because they want to get in shape, or they want to have meals for their baby, healthy meals for their baby. All you do is you send them your content and you say, please share my work 3 times on your story, or give me a permanent post on your page. And I promise you the power in that is immeasurable. If you can get somebody with 20,000 followers to shout out your work or to post your work, you'll be surprised how many people will come and follow you from that. Follow, unfollow is not a good idea. Okay, I admittedly tried this, and I have to be honest, I'm only just coming off the consequence of the follow, unfollow tactic. The follow, unfollow tactic is an extremely cheeky tactic that I was desperate for, and I did it for a couple of months, and okay, it probably got me 1,000 followers, maybe 1,000, but then I probably lost them all again as soon as I unfollowed them. So the follow, unfollow is you follow someone, you let them follow you back, and then you unfollow them. Not cool, ladies and gentlemen. It's a cheeky way to get followers, and I'm being honest, it doesn't work. It works in the short term. Short-term gain is great, but if you're playing the long game, which you should be, the follow, unfollow tactic is a big no-go. I would avoid that completely. Build up your base organically and naturally. It's better to have 1,000 true fans than 100,000 untrue fans or disloyal followers, people who aren't going to buy your product and who aren't interested in what you have to offer. Post regularly on social media, and when I say regularly, it doesn't have to be every single day, but by showing your followers that you are there, that you're actively engaging, that you're putting out good content, is extremely, extremely valuable to show that you know what you're talking about and you're engaging. However, do not post for the sake of posting. And again, this is something I'm guilty of. You think, oh my God, it's Thursday and I haven't posted anything. You know what? I'm going to take a picture of my cereal and say, #Thursday cereal. Great. You know, nobody wants that crap. Nobody wants to follow that. Nobody wants to like that. You might get a few likes, but it's just worthless. Don't put things up for the sake of it. What you're going to do is you're going to clog up your feed with useless junk. People who are going to go to your page, your social media channel, are going to see it and just think, okay, this is not the kind of person I want to follow. Post valuable content. Lay it out, plan your month at the beginning of every month. What am I going to post and when am I going to post? And then stick to that. You'll find that it's better to have 10 pieces of content on your page that have value than 300 that don't. You'll get more followers from that value, okay? I cannot stress that enough. Now, I'm going to very quickly show you why it's very important to switch to a business account on Instagram. It does absolutely nothing other than offer you insights like this, okay? When you make a new post, you'll be able to see exactly what generated the reach from that post. So you'll see here I got 18,000 people were reached by that post. 76% of them weren't following me. 13 people followed me from one post. The impressions I gave off was 24,000. This is actually one of my better performing posts, by the way. Hashtags. 14,000 people saw my post because of my hashtags. Again, I cannot stress the importance of hashtags enough. Hashtags are great. They will get you to places you otherwise wouldn't be able to get. But again, it's not a good idea to post useless hashtags. If you are posting a photo of you working on the beach and you post, you hashtag beach, or beach fitness, your post is going to be snowed under by the other 100,000 people on the same beach posting using the same hashtag. So strategically utilizing your hashtags is very important. One, make it a little bit more unique to reach those accounts that you otherwise wouldn't reach. So instead of just beach fitness, you could say beach fitness 2020, beach fitness Valencia. That way you're going to target a more direct audience. And this is how you're going to establish a better reach from your posts, okay? Again, it's very important that you utilize this hashtagging tool. I cannot stress it enough, okay? I'm going to go through the next page very quickly because we're running out of time, but I cannot wait to answer your questions. I hope you have a few for me. So at this point, I just want to say that once I built up my first 1,000 followers, I probably had about 10 or 15 loyal clients. This is when I quit my job. I began to earn more than my actual full-time job paid me. And so I quit my job and worked 100% full-time online for my clients. And it was one of the best moves I've ever made. And that's going to bring us to the final point here, which is stronger than oak. It's a point now, and let me explain where you are right now. You've launched your website, you've gotten your clients in, people are coming to you, wanting to train with you or work with you or use whatever content you're providing. And you're now at a point where you can nurture it and let it grow. I'd like to just sort of highlight a few things in order to keep that stronger than oak, and to also enable you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So we've got a very, very, very sexy Otis Redding over here. Look at that grin. Love this, guys. But it's also easy. All you got to do is try a little tenderness. And what I mean by that is your clients are coming to you, and for whatever reason, whatever service you're offering them, they are coming to you for help. And there's nothing wrong with being happy and kind and just super excited every time you talk to them. And in fact, I cannot stress the importance of that any more than I am right now. Being happy to receive your clients and being grateful that they're there, who are paying for your services. It's something that is the most important aspect of my business, is the personality and the care that I like to give my clients. They're awesome in every way, and I want to make them feel welcome. If you walk into a clothes shop and you're trying on clothes and the staff just don't help you at all and they're rude, you're not going to buy clothes. You're going to leave, okay? You're going to go to their competition. However, if you go into a shop and you're a little bit apprehensive about buying an item of clothing, but the staff there are super helpful and super friendly and super smiley and they're willing to help, you're more inclined to buy the product. And just being there for people means so much. And I promise you, it's fulfilling for yourself. And I wanted to just bring in this fella, Seneca the Stoic. Stoicism, it's a philosophy that I don't go super deeply into. The practices I'd like to sort of learn more about. However, having the ability to not necessarily pretend that everything is okay, but having the ability to just separate work from your everyday life is an amazing thing. And look, I've been in this game for 4 years now working online. Of course, I've had my bad days. I've had my terrible days. However, my clients do not need to see that because they're probably going through the things of their own. I can talk to my friends about my problems, but my clients, I need to show them that I'm there and I'm happy and I'm there for whatever. I'm having a bad day, but don't worry about it. I'm here for you. I'm going to do whatever you need for you to reach your goals, okay? So I can't stress that enough. Be a happy person. Be happy and thankful that your clients are there paying you to provide whatever service you have. And I think if you ask my clients, they'll say, I like to think, I'm a happy guy. And I am, because they're there and I have them to work with. Another way to fortify the relationship with your clients is to always question what you're doing. Always ask, how can I be better? How can I benefit? How can my clients benefit more? How can I offer value to my product? And I'm always asking myself this question. I'm always asking my clients the same question. how can you value my product more? What can I offer you? And so by doing this, I create things like weekly content. This is an example of what I send my clients every week. I send them either all three of these things that change every week, or two of them, or one of them, whatever it takes, whatever I can put together. But this is just my weekly content. So you'll see here I've got a June 2020 recipe pack. I've got the guidelines on how to make a smoothie, as well as some ingredients. And I've got a workout of the week. So along with my clients' workouts, they can actually have an additional workout every week. And it just shows them that I'm thinking of them, and I'm always trying to push them a little bit further, push them a little bit harder, but most importantly, I'm there, I'm present. Okay, that's something that I fully advise everybody do. When a client is paying you for a service, question yourself, how can I make this better? For any of you who are curious a little bit more on the philosophy of Stoicism, I've watched both of these. Highly, highly interesting. Obviously, if you have any doubts or problems in your life, of course, be open, talk about it. But when it comes to your work, I would highly suggest separating it. Again, it's something that I apply regularly. Okay, so I'm just going to look at some of these questions now. What's the process of signing up with Mustard Fitness? That is an excellent question. In fact, while I've got you here, I'm actually going to show you exactly what someone who doesn't know me goes through to sign up with me and to train with me online. So let's just imagine somebody sees this photo and they say, hey, I want something like this to work for me. I want to go through this process. I want to work with Mustard Fitness, or at least I want to learn more. They'd go to mustardfitness.com, and when setting up a website, it's very important that you make it as simple and as easy to understand as possible, as well as a quick method for people to get to your inbox. Okay, you don't want to make it a complicated process. So what I've narrowed it down to here is a very, very, very simple questionnaire. I want to lose some body fat. I don't need it. Pack on some lean muscle. I want it. So they click that. They type in their email address. Okay, I don't know how to do the @ symbol on the Mac, so I'm not going to do that. Actually, that's a great question. How do I do an @ symbol on the Mac? Can somebody please let me know? Thank you. Who's going to get it? @ symbol on the Mac, ladies and gentlemen. How do I do an @ symbol on the Mac?
Stacey, you can do a Shift-2.
Shift-2. Okay, let's try that. That did not work. That did not work, perhaps because it's a Spanish keyboard. Yes, success. He's got it. Okay, email address. We spelled address wrong. It doesn't really matter. Okay, email address @gmail.com. Okay, so what's going to happen is they're going to click these things here, and they're going to click that, and that's going to take them straight to this little box that pops up. Thank you. You have made the first step on an incredible journey. Keep an eye on your inbox or your spam. An email is coming. And then what that does for me is that just sends me an email directly to my inbox. And as you can see, I'm not too sure if it will pop up. Yes, we've got it. Look at that. They're straight in my inbox. No reply at Weebly. You have just received a new submission. Brilliant. And this person, as you can see, has put their email address. I want to pack on some lean muscle. And from this point, I would send them a really nice email saying, hey, thank you so much for getting in contact. I'm super excited to learn more about your goals. Let's talk. Let's see what you've got. And so from there, I see so many people putting Shift-Alt-2. Thank you so much for your help. From there, I would immediately break the ice and start talking to them about their goals and show them what I have to offer. So that is really it, guys. There's so much more to cover, but I've just broken it down into 1 hour. I really hope that you learn something. But again, what we've got in the Bubble Up folder is ways for you to contact me if you want any advice about this. If you want to jump on a call, I'm totally cool to do that. Just head over to this little tab over here where it says hit me with your cues. Don't actually hit me with anything, just hit me with your cues, and I will type up this week the answers to all of your questions right here. And hopefully you'll get a notification from the wonderful Bubble Up letting you know that I've answered a question in there. So keep an eye out on your notifications. I see someone put, this has been great. I really appreciate it. I hope I didn't rush it, but as you can imagine, there's a lot to get through. What I will do is very quickly, for those of you who just want to hang on 1 second, I've got a couple of tips and tricks that I used in sort of bringing this all together. And trust me, I've tried them all. I've tried waking up at 4 in the morning and working all the way through till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've tried waking up late and working late into the evening. I've tried all-nighters. I've tried different tips and tricks to be more productive. And I found that the post-it trick is by far the best trick I've ever learned, and it's something that I use to this day, and it works very well. Now, the post-it trick, as long as you recycle, kids, because recycling is very important, is I take a post-it. In fact, I take a stack of post-its, and every day I write down all of my tasks that I need to get done for the day. And I stack them up in order of priority with the most important tasks on the top of the post-it pile. Now, I cannot do tasks underneath. So what I have to do is, in order to work through my pile, I have to go through my most important tasks. Now, as you can see here, this is webinar. Once I've completed my task, I can rip it off and I can screw it up. And I throw that into a very large jar. As you can see, I've got a few tasks completed already. Now, at the top of this jar, you'll see I've put a line and something that says touring bike. I really want to buy a touring bike. That's my reward, okay? And as you can see on the screen, I put reward yourself. That's a very scrawny me a few years ago when I was cycling through the Czech Republic. I love cycling, traveling, and I haven't done it for years. And I really feel as if I want to do that again. So my post-it trick is my method of rewarding myself. As soon as the post-its cross that line, I'm going to go out, I'm going to buy myself a really nice touring bike. It's going to require about 750 tasks to be complete, in which time I'll hopefully earn that touring bike. It's an extremely, extremely great way to stay productive. There's 2 books that I would also recommend. I own both of them and I've read them both as well. They're fantastic. And by the same author, Tim Ferriss. You'll find a lot of his podcasts online as well. But these 2 books are very enlightening. I would highly recommend them. The 4-Hour Work Week, Escape the 9-to-5, Live Anywhere, and Join the New Rich. It will just highlight a lot of the things that I've said in this podcast and so much more when it comes to pursuing your dreams and escaping the norm that you have to work 40 hours a week, because who wants to do that unless it's in something you truly love? Take more time to go dancing or singing or rowing or just cycling or doing whatever you want to do to fill your time in a happy way. And Tools of the Titans is a similar book, but this is where Tim Ferriss himself has interviewed various successful people in their own way, whether it be health, wealth, or being wise. He interviewed them and found their tricks, their tools that allowed them to be a success. Take it with a pinch of salt. Some are great, some are a little bit bonkers, but it's a fantastic book, which I highly recommend. I'm gonna actually just answer a few questions now because I've got a lot of comments. It's really nice. I really can't thank you guys enough for being here. This is, yeah, it's amazing to see that I got a great turnout and you guys have all been there. In fact, many of you have been there along the way through this whole thing, through the whole Mustard Fitness, from the birth all the way through to this. So I can't thank you enough for your support. It's just awesome, and I owe each and every one of you a beer, as well as Wade Sellers. Wade Sellers is awesome. He actually did a similar webinar the other day about how to send your first newsletter, and I wanted to cover that in here, but he covered it so much better than I ever could. So what I'm going to do is stay tuned. I'm going to actually post it in this folder, how to access whether it be content that he's made or the video itself, the webinar itself, because it's fabulous. Highly recommend it. If anyone has any questions, please, please, please either ask them in the comment box over on your right or in the lovely little post-it note here. And I'll get to them right now. Questions for whenever you answer. Okay, here we go. We've got a question. Okay, that's a long one. Wow. Thank you, Harris. Let's make that big. Okay. Okay, we can't open it. Question for one of you. I can't read it. Oh, there we go. Brilliant. You have a goal of starting your own. Okay. question for whenever you get to answer it. If you're working a 9-5 currently, but have the goal of starting your own business, what advice would you give around migrating from the 9-5 to the dream business while limiting the financial impact it will have on your family? Okay, I've been in the same boat, man. I was teaching in a university in the Philippines, and I loved it. It was great. It was paying my bills, but I would get home, and that's where the hustle began. And so for the first 6 months or however long it takes, I would highly suggest not taking one foot off a stepping stone before jumping onto the next. And the same applies with the 9-5. Keep that 9-5, keep that money coming in, keep it churning, and then just bust your ass for a couple of months. Go home, get a good feed, get a good meal, get some rest, go to the gym, and then from 7 until 10 that night, hustle, get to work, and just put in that extra time into starting your own business. And what you'll find is, I guarantee it, with enough time and dedication and networking and accurately made decisions, your 3 hours that you are putting in each night will end up earning you more than you're earning from your 9 till 5. The problem with 9-5s is the majority of them have caps on the amount of money you earn or happiness factor. So I would honestly say that the online world and setting up your own business isn't as capped, and it's your passion, and that's going to bring happiness, which is so much more important than the financial side as well. So I hope that helps. That was the best sort of answer I can give on the fly. If anyone has any more questions, please throw them up right now. I'm going to just scroll up and see if there's anything else that I should cover. And don't worry, I'm going to go through all of these and answer them in that post-it note. I have to thank amazing tools like BubbleUp online, because they enable you to get so much done. They are true productivity apps. And the best part about BubbleUp is I just know that I can store all information there. And a prime example is today, I had this all set up, and 10 minutes before the webinar, I realized my webcam wasn't working on my computer. So what did I do? I logged straight onto BubbleUp on the Mac, and boom, everything's there, still just waiting for me in the cloud. And it's free for the basic package. It's just truly amazing. And I use this with all of my new projects that I'm setting up. So I can't thank BubbleUp enough. Thank you so much, guys, for setting this up. We've got another question here. Okay, is there anything you would have done differently? What was your biggest learning curve? Oh my God, there's so much I would have done differently. But it's one of those things where you learn as you do. You know, a child doesn't try and walk without, with the fear of falling over. They just fall over and get back up, and fall over and get back up. And it's truly about making mistakes and figuring out on your own, and just kind of being adaptable to new situations. So what was your biggest learning curve? Wow, that's something I'll have to just very quickly think about. Biggest learning curve. Okay. At the beginning, I started working with clients in many different time zones, and I am still to this day. I had clients in Asia, in Europe, in the US, and in Australia. So you can imagine that's 4 very, very vast time zones. And I initially thought, okay, I'll just have to cancel all my clients in 1 time zone or 2 time zones, and focus on the ones that I can handle. However, I realized that I didn't really mind answering questions late at night on WhatsApp, or however people are contacting me, be it email or through my training platform. I don't mind working late in the evening and just messaging them. So I have a client in the States, 9 o'clock at night. Hey, how do I do this new exercise? I'm struggling. No problem. I'll get on the roof and I'll just record it very quickly, or I'll give you the answer you need. It doesn't take much time. So a big learning curve was just on the point of cutting off a bunch of clients. I actually said, you know what? I actually don't mind. So think about the things that really matter to you, and weigh things up. Yeah, weigh everything up. What do you like doing? What do you not like doing? And those things you don't like doing, it's okay to discard them. But if you're okay doing things, especially if it's in the early stages, it's going to be a bit of a hustle and a bit of hard work. Just go with it, man. Just do what you got to do. What are some things you've created? Here we go. That's a great question. Seriously great questions here, guys. And I really appreciate the support you're giving me as well. I mean, again, it's my first webinar. And I've never in my life had to sit and talk alone, in general, talk for an hour and 12 minutes without, you know, sort of feedback from someone directly. So having you guys there is just amazing. Thank you so much for your support. What are some things you've created that helped you set yourself apart other than just workouts, blogs, etc.? Right, okay, this is a great question. I truly believe that personality wins and personality is key. I have purchased other personal training clients, personal training packages online to investigate and to see how other trainers have done it. And I've also worked with other trainers to see how they've done it in disguise. And what I found was they didn't offer me the personality. And this is a very personal thing. If you're working one-to-one with clients and you're discussing goals and you're getting them to send you photos of them in their underwear to see the muscular imbalances or the areas they want to improve, it's got to be a very personal thing, and you've got to make them feel safe, and you've got to let them know that you're not a robot, you are a human, you understand them, your goals are their goals and their goals are your goals, and it's a teamwork thing, and it's not, hey, here's a cookie cutter package that I made 6 months ago, go and do that, contact me in 3 weeks. That is sad, and that is what I found a lot of. In fact, sign up with me and I'm with you now. We're a part of a team, and I'm not stopping until you get your goals. And when a client doesn't make the progress and they feel down about that, they can see that I also feel down, and I do, and I think that that matters. So keep it personal. That's what I do, really. Anyone starting a business, please keep it personal, keep it friendly, keep it happy, and we're all human beings. Don't be a robot. Okay, Stacey, this is super helpful. Muchas gracias. I have to bounce, but super helpful. That's great. Thanks so much for the love. How long did it take until you finally started earning a comfortable salary? It's a great question as well. Define comfortable, because for me, quality of life is more important. However, I think it was about a year and a half into my Mustard Fitness journey that I was earning more money than I had with any of my previous jobs. Now, granted, I'd never worked for huge companies in the past. I'd never earned a crazy amount of money. However, after a year and a half of work with Mustard Fitness, I was paying myself more than I ever earned working for someone else. Yeah, it's a great feeling to generate that yourself with your hard work, but with the help of others. I didn't cover that in this webinar. We'll have to save it for the next one. But the importance of reaching out and asking for help and trading is extreme. There are so many people who are willing to help, and you can help them too. Can you put the questions and answers in the blog for us as well, please? I also need to leave soon, but this is really helpful. Thank you so much for being here, Virginia Green. That's awesome. Okay, what social media platforms are the most beneficial? Have you ever paid for social media services? Do I have to do all social media outlets? Wow, a great question. Okay, no, you don't have to do all social media outlets. I personally haven't. I focused on Instagram and Instagram alone simply because I didn't want to spend all my time on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, there's TikTok now, Twitter. So I took one and I focused on one. And I knew that if I could grow one, I could probably benefit from having one that's extremely large. And so what I would do is, depending on what you want to sell or what product you want to offer, choose that route. Instagram is very, very visual, and as much as I hate to say it, so is being in shape. It's very visual. People like to post themselves looking sexy, good. So it's a very visual thing, but it allows you also to post solid information below each picture. However, YouTube would also be a great outlet. But I think Facebook is actually the one with the most users with 2 billion. I think Instagram only has about 1 billion, and YouTube has about 1.9 billion, if I remember correctly. So choose what you feel advertises you the best. If you're excellent in front of the camera, get on YouTube and get your videos out there. If you feel as if you're great at taking photos and writing content, then shoot for Instagram or Facebook. I hope that helps. What social media channel is the best to start with a new business? Okay, again, the one that highlights you the best, the one that advertises you the best. Again, personally, Instagram is my field, but I think I might jump into the YouTube realm quite quickly. How do you think I did in front of the camera? Was I all right? I Again, it's the first time speaking for so long. Do you plan on hiring people to grow muscle fitness? Absolutely. I'm actually in the process of looking for someone to work with me on bicep brides. So if there are any female personal trainers out there right now, I would love to talk to you about launching bicep brides or bride biceps. I can't remember. Bicep brides. Anyway, again, everybody, thank you so much for sticking around. You're awesome. You're all awesome. And don't forget to get in touch if you have any questions. I'm super keen to have a chat with you as well and help you in any way I can in launching a new business.